Recording. We are recording. Okay.
You're on.
Okay. Here we go. And this is flowing much better, right? The video.
Yes,
Okay.
very
Yes.
much.
Screw. I'm not doing the lives anymore. And indeed, dear ones, as we were saying before, we were so rudely interrupted. Um, we spoke to you and we said that we wanted to for the next few weeks, we wanted to pop in to just lend some support in between our more lengthier visits, because the way the energy is going right now, dear ones, the energy is constantly changing, constantly shifting. You are constantly shifting and changing. You are not even aware of how much you are each constantly shifting and expanding in every moment. um, these are energies are bigger than anything you have ever experienced. You are When we spoke last time, we spoke to you about this child's toy, this seesaw, and we used this analogy in reference to the push pull energy that you were all experiencing. You were feeling up, you were feeling up, you were feeling down, you were feeling up, you were feeling down. And then we talked to you about that there were those few times when you were on this seesaw, that the push and the pull energy were exactly the same, and you reached a sort of sweet spot where you were each, the seesaw was level. And but this happened very rarely. And then there were times where perhaps a little too much force was put, a little too much pulling energy was used, where you see in your cartoons where the being on the other side, the one side goes down very fast and very hard, and then the other being gets catapulted into the air. Well, dear ones, this is where you are right now. You had a little bit of time where you were able to catch your breath. We are understanding that it did not feel that way to you, especially on a physical level. It did not feel as if you had a break. But what happened was the energies were running so high, and you were sort of running on this adrenaline. And this is why we encourage you to drink a lot of water, because everything was heightened for you on so many levels, and the physical body needed some help. It still needs some help, but the physical body needed some help, and then suddenly the energies dropped. In other words, they peaked, and then they peaked very fast, and they dropped very fast. And this is where some of you found perhaps your knees or your lower extremities. You were literally dropped into a brand new dimension. Some call it timeline jumps, some call it shifts. It doesn't matter. It's all the same thing, just in different words. But basically, you have been dropped into the lower 5D in a much more grounded way. In other words, it was all coming through in your field, but now your physical body, you are all there. You are all there now in this lower 5D. And what happens if you jump from a very high, if the body, a human jumps from a very high area, and then allows itself to jump, and then it catches, and the lower extremities take the hit. And this is what has happened for many of you. Whereas before, when you were dealing more with these higher vibrating energies, everything was affecting you from the mid part of the body up. Now you're being affected from the mid part of the body and down. And you are feeling that very physically while still experiencing some of this, how can we say, some of this disorientation. And this is where your lack of focus comes in. This is where Stacy is laughing and interjecting. She has had an attention span of a gnat. This is what's happening, dear ones, because you are still, you have landed, and now you are just acclimating. Now, what's happened is this will continue for a little while. You are also experiencing so much acceleration within this. So the body landed, you are landed, you are here, even physically. It is not just while dimensions are not physical places, your physical body still experiences the energies of these dimensions, you see. So we will even say physically you are in this dimension, you see. So and it is a matter of acclimating to all of this. And while you have just landed, there is so much that is going on around you as well. So again, we will repeat to the importance of self-care, the importance of doing the breath, taking the breaths, the importance of really breathing and staying in your body and going into that meld, but doing it while in your body, drinking the water, just to keep everything going. And we wanted to the other night, while our dear Stacy and our dear Mark were getting ready for bed, um, Mark dropped a word on Stacy, and understand, dear ones, we also work through our dear Mark. We work through our dear Mark differently than we do with Stacy, but we also consider our dear Mark a partner as well in this. And there are times where we will drop little things to Mark, then he will drop in on Stacy. And this is what happened the other evening. Mark used a word with Stacy, current. Current dash CY, current C. It is very important for you now to stay in your current moment. We are not using now moment. Much of this terminology will leave you. As we said, this word ascension will eventually move into, you will start using the term expansion. Even this now moment, it is being in the current. What is happening right now? As you are still feeling the effects right before you literally dropped into this 5D. Um, you passed through uh, what we would call a crossroads point, where it was almost a nuclear point where past this thing you call your past, this thing you call your present, all different potentials that were all within the past and present, everything it all, you landed and became the midpoint for that, the fulcrum for all of it. um and and basically what you did was, this is what had some of you revisiting the past or having sort of past stuff coming up for you. And it was very fast. It seemed as if everything rained on you at once. And so while you were also sort of revisiting different past things, or feeling certain feelings and realizing they were triggering certain past things for you, or you were dreaming about or whatever, it seemed that your past was very present for you. Simultaneously, while you were feeling that, you were also looking over the horizon and perhaps feeling some frustration or excitement. It's the whole gamut. Right now, dear ones, you are experiencing the whole gamut of emotions, or you have been. You are moving out of it now, but there are still some lingering effects of this, of where you were in that space where everything was present and everything was in your current moment. Everything was in your current moment. And it felt that it expanded. Even some of that felt like it was expanded, that you expanded and went into the depths of sorrow, or the depths of boredom, or the depths of frustration. You went all into that. But then you were also looking and getting excited about certain things, even though it is not tangible and you could not tell what the excitement was about, or how, or even how to visualize that for yourself going forward, your future going forward. There's still some sort of excitement around it. So you were dealing with all of that, dear ones, while also dealing with your current life. Now, we are really wanting to encourage you to stay within the current sea. And you do that by taking breaths. You do that by taking walks in nature. Now, we understand that in some areas of your planet, the weather is not conducive for you. But even if you were able to go stand outside for 5 moments, 5 minutes, that would do you much good to keep you grounded, to keep you in the current. Now, current sea, the current sea of things, it is when you are in the current that you can see clearly, you see. It is when you are in the current, or the now, that you can see. Being in the current, mm, also, you have this, the meaning of this word is flow. When water or air flows a certain way, you are in the flow when you remain in the current. You remain in the current by taking breaths or getting in nature. Also moving the body a bit. The body, be very aware of your bodies, dear ones, especially now. It is very important for you to be aware of your bodies, not only to tend to them, but to be aware of them. Pinch yourself, feel. Make sure that you are current, that you are in the current. Now, also, you have the flow of the water, you have the flow of the air. It is current. You want to stay in the flow. You also want to stay in the connection, because current is also a term used for your electricity, the flow of electricity. So remaining in the current also allows you to remain in the connection with your soul. It can be, this is the thing that will keep you grounded. Now, what is happening is, too, as you are moving towards the spring equinox. Of course, the equinoxes are all about balance. So you are moving into more balance with this. But right now, you are feeling as if you are standing on the head of a pin. And you are really working hard to maintain balance. And so it is very simple. It is through the breath. It is through moving the body. It is through going out in nature a little bit. We are not saying to overly exert, because the body is not needing that right now. The body will not be your friend if you go into overexerting of it. And so your body is one of your dear friends, is the closest being to you. It is the closest thing to you, so you are wanting to tend to it, dear ones. But you are moving in now towards some balance here. And again, this will accelerate as well. You will move into the balance more quickly than before. And then you are also receiving all of these balancing energies. So for now, we just wanted to share that with you. We are wanting you to stay in the current. Stay in the current. And this takes on many meetings, and it is on many levels, as we've explained. We will meet with you tomorrow and talk to you a little bit more. But for now, we wanted to just give you this little tidbit, this little tool, this little support, some support for you, because in truth, dear ones, what you are experiencing, you have never experienced before, never. It is so big, it is so expansive. It is so wondrous. It is so wonderful. You are at odds with it at some points. At some points, you can be in full joy with it. At other points, you are at odds with it. This is just this back and forth until you find the balance. Even your pendulums will swing back and forth for a while, to back and forth until it finds its center. And this is where you are right now, dear ones. But the balance is here. You can maintain your balance through the breath and through moving your body. You must move your bodies now a little bit. Again, we are not saying to go run marathons. We are not saying to start lifting weights and doing all of that. Just even some gentle motion. In fact, we would encourage you, be very gentle with your bodies, even in the movements. Do some stretching, especially. The stretching will help. The stretching will help in the connections and getting the body moving, and it will help and strengthen the connections into the current. Be very aware of your bodies. Be very aware of your bodies, dear ones. Now more than ever, it is so important to stay in them. And now more than ever, it can be very easy for you not to stay in them. And yet the balance is only found if you stay in, dear ones. So be very aware of your bodies. Indeed. So we will see you. We will see you tomorrow for a more extended visit. We will answer some questions that have come in at that time as well. But we wanted to just come in and lend some support. You are dearly loved. You are not going crazy. You are not getting. Your body is not getting ill. Everything is in perfect timing. Everything. Stay in the current, dear ones. And with that, we wish you a very good day. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. All right, finally I got in. I went into guilt because I was like, oh shit, I need to get in. But I just wasn't, I couldn't even get in myself. So I went into some guilt, and it was like, no, you can't do that, Stace. You're human too, and you're experiencing like this too.
Right. Sorry, I was late. I
Hi,
didn't know.
dear. Hi, dear. No, it was very spontaneous. I didn't even put I figured I knew I was recording it so everybody could come in
Oh, I thought you were recording it because
no.
I missed the beginning too.
Yeah, no, we got it. I recorded it. I went live in the room first. Like Facebook Live used to be so much easier, but now it's like you have to create this freaking room and then you broadcast from the room and all this bullshit. So, and then when I went live, and then Erica was saying it was choppy. Right? It was choppy. So
You were freezing.
Yeah, that's it. So I was like, screw it. Let me just go to Zoom. So, okay. Thank you for joining, everybody. The recording will be up in a couple of minutes as soon as it's finished processing. Okay. Thank you. I love you all. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Bye. Bye.